So you want to make some money, right? Well, then why not start at the top? Why not start with the people who have made the most money in history? Tens of billions of dollars. Well, would it surprise you to know that many of them have written books? And a lot of them have written about how they created their wealth and how you can create wealth through the books that they've written. Sometimes it's kind of indirect, honestly. They talk about how they constructed their companies, what made their companies successful, how they manage people, and on and on and on. But it can get you a deep inside look at how they accumulated such massive wealth. But here's the funny thing. How many people actually go out and start reading these books? In fact, I think maybe I'm the only person, one of the only people on the earth who's even really considered to do so and have actually started executing and actually doing so. I've already read and reviewed a few books by these billionaires on my channel, which include Oprah Winfrey. She wrote a book, and Sam Walton on the Walmart franchise. Sam, one could argue he has made more money than anyone alive when you adjust for inflation. Now that's debatable and it gets kind of fuzzy, but he's definitely at the top. And yet, what do most people do? If they ever get into reading or learning about this, they'll pick up some book recommended by some friend or someone they know or someone they trust or an established figure who's made maybe 1 million, 2 million, if they're lucky, 5 million. And how many books like this have they read? One or two. So that's why I'm starting this Billionaire Book Club. I'm going to call it the Billionaire Book Club. And basically, each video of this series, I will be discussing and reviewing one book written by a billionaire. And if you do some digging, there's actually quite a few out there. I don't think it's over 100 or 200, but quite a few have written books. And so let's just get cracking. Let's start this journey. So if you're interested, I will be releasing videos, so hit the subscribe button. It'll let you know and when I release a video on this. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole thing. And there's more to the story than that. You know, I've done a lot of research and I've looked at a lot of books, and it is the most ridiculously fascinating thing ever how retarded people are. As far as millionaires who have written books on how they got their wealth, from just the amount that I've put on my Amazon wish list and the amount I've found, I truly believe that there's at least 1,000, if not 10,000 books by millionaires. Some of them explicitly on how they accumulated their wealth out there in the world, published, ready for you to read at a very cheap price, maybe less than $5. Sam Walton's book costs like about $3 used. And yet, how many people have actually gone out to actually learn about this? Close to none. And I've read a decent amount of books, and I'm less than 1% there, considering the amount I know that's out there in terms of just this field alone. And yet, I have already learned so many different traits and habits necessary, and there are certain common habits and traits and laws once you start learning more and more about this. So, this is more of a glamorous, fun type book club. And I do think, as a disclaimer, it is not the best thing if you want just to be a millionaire. Oftentimes, many of you don't need to have $1 billion. And the amount of wealth and the structure needed to create that is on a completely different level. A billionaire and a millionaire, they're on completely different levels. So this is more of a fun thing for me to do myself and to learn from the process. And I guarantee you there's a lot of interesting books about billionaires. Some of the ones we're going to be covering, some I've already done reviews on, so I will be just retitling the videos I've done on them and adding them to this Billionaire Book Club video series. But I've done one already on Oprah Winfrey's book, What I Know For Sure, which was released this year. There will be book reviews done on Ralph Lauren's book, titled Ralph Lauren. And I've worn enough Polo Ralph Lauren shirts, and so it's a very relevant book even to this day. There's a book by Donald Trump. There's so many books by Donald Trump, and I've done a video review on that as well. He's a billionaire. There's one by Charlie Munger, and that one is just so good, so good, and it's thick too, so it's hard to condense and review. So I'll be doing a review on that, and there's tons and tons and tons and tons, and I'm going to try and go through them all. And then if you really want to get really in depth, there are books written by other people covering billionaires, interviewing billionaires, and so forth. I've done a few video reviews on those as well. And so, this series is really going to be based on what I would like to do, but also it will be structured on what you viewers want. So I've laid out a few options. Do you want just billionaires, or do you want the next immediate video to be on a book interviewing billionaires? Or what do you want? And let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions, anything else. And that way we can get a structured feel for it. Because if I'm only getting 2 views per video, I may stop doing these video reviews. I may not stop just reading these books and learning about it. But it's really going to be about what you want. So let me know in the comments below. And I'm very excited for this series because there's a lot you can branch off from this. Not only will there be around 100 videos on just books written by billionaires that I'll be reviewing and discussing, but also that can branch off into all these other books. Relevant books written by millionaires, which in certain ways may be much more relevant and useful and beneficial and interesting and helpful than some books written by these billionaires. And I do think that's the case for sure. And on top of that, in this process, you will discover many, many, many books that are kind of hard to find and uncover, written by these billionaires or written by these very, very successful people who have created billion-dollar industries from nothing. And they started as millionaires or broke, homeless people. A great book that no one's ever heard of is called Grinding It Out by Ray Kroc. And you may not recognize any of that, but you probably recognize the name McDonald's. So I can go on, and really, there's so many ways we can branch this off out of. Let me know if you have any book suggestions. And I really do think this is a very exciting video book club series that we will be releasing for free on my YouTube channel. So please hit the subscribe button and let me know what your feedback is on all this. And I've done some real digging, and so there are some books on here written by billionaires that most people have never even heard of or would have a hard time even discovering. So just think and share this with your friends. And this video is basically an overview / briefing before we start this whole series. Just let me know what you guys think. I've already done a few video reviews on a few of these books, which I'll just be bundling into this series and retitling, but I'll be doing some more. And it's just the most ridiculously intriguing thing that no one's ever done this before. In fact, I really don't think many people on the face of this earth, maybe none, from all the people I've talked to who read books, have even considered doing this, or have executed, or even read like 3 books by billionaires, let alone hundreds. I've talked to a lot of people who read. And so, that's all I got to say. And without further ado, here begins the series. Let me know what you guys think. And, oh yes, I will be creating a YouTube playlist for this series for easy access. And therefore, what you can do is just go through this playlist and go through every video. And perhaps you can learn something, and it may shave off a lot of time for you. There's so many lessons throughout all this stuff, and you will guaranteed come out a different person than when you came in. And more importantly, you can save time by just hearing it from me, and save time by skipping some of the books by billionaires that aren't exactly exceptionally useful. Donald Trump's book, for example, I mean, there are some golden nuggets, but it's not the master key. If I had to choose between that book and Napoleon Hill's Laws of Success, I would choose Laws of Success for sure. Having said that, though, if you had to choose between not reading Donald Trump's book and reading it, read Donald Trump's book. So that's all I got to say. Again, I'm eager to hear your feedback in the comments below in this YouTube video, and hit the subscribe button. See you guys later.